Hi guys, good day and welcome once again to our talk show, Interactive Solution. And today is another of the series that we are building. And this one is on family politics still, and we're looking at blood relationship, whether blood relationship defines family or whether who cares is the definition of family. So blood relationship is family about blood or about who cares. That is the topic we are looking at today. And it is instructive for us to know that over time, situations have always erupted that have brought a kind of question mark against the term family. A whole lot of things have happened, and people who are family, let us just say who are family, seem to be acting like they don't know each other anymore. So these are some of the things we want to examine in our talk show today. What will amount or what and what will bring a situation where siblings will be seeing themselves as strangers and strangers become more family than a family. So with me as always are the guys who are going to interrogate this situation and let us know and draw us into their thoughts about this issue that seem to be dogging society. After all, Cain killed his brother over just nothing. Cain killed Abel, and Jacob subverted Esau. All these things are some of the things. So it's not something that started today. The issue of family. I even would want to suggest that this whole thing about politics all started in the family, and then we are taking it to another level. If it's not beyond even what we think about. So today we are going to look at who cares in the family. Is it blood or who cares that is more family than family? So we would like you to be part of this show. If you have had experiences, if you have had anything that may have caused you to rethink your relationship with your brother, or something that may have caused you to think that a distant person is more family than your brother or your sister, you're free to let us know. You can drop us a note. You can drop us your contribution. You can ask your questions. We are here to, as much as we can, bring answers to as many questions as may be coming our way today. So today, I know many people may have experiences they want to share with us. Here in Interactive Solutions, we don't duck questions. We call it by their names. We put square pegs in square holes and round pegs in round holes. We don't call black white or white black. We call it what it is. And as soon as the guys who like to pour out their emotions on issues that we bring up here on the corridor, I'll bring them in and then we get cracking on this important topic. Many people may have had experiences they will want to share with us. There's no family that you will say that it's all been rosy, ice cream and bread and butter. It's not been like that. There may have been situations that came up or that are still ongoing that would warrant that people would want to share such issues with us. And anybody who thinks that there is need for him to, get involved in this discussion, just let me know and then I'll bring you on, so that we get cracking on that. So I wait for the guys who I partner with on this podcast to show their faces, and once they knock on my door, I'll bring them in. Is family about blood or about who cares? What do you think? Do you think family is about blood, or do you think that family is about who really cares? I'm beginning to think myself that family is about who really cares, because a whole lot of things have happened that will make you think that family is about who really cares and not really about blood. Because those you think are family may not even may be thinking in an opposite direction from where you are, from where you're coming. They may be going in a different direction from where you're coming. And these are the kind of things that bring up a convoluted situation that make people begin to, question their relationship, their blood relationship, and begin to think that people outside are more family than blood. So I did something recently where I was saying that conflict, distance, and even silence seem to becoming a barrier. They are becoming more pronounced in families these days. That you begin to ask yourself if some things were involved, not probably one or little altercation that could have been resolved, and is taken just beyond where you least expected it. So, is family about blood, about who cares? This is a question for you. This is a question for me. And if we answer these questions or this question honestly, it will help you to know how you chart your way forward going into whatever relationship you have, not just with your brother, your sister, but even with outsiders, people who are distant. So that's what we want to talk about today. Is family about blood, about who cares? Caring is always a two-way thing. Blood can join you together, but it is about who really cares that brings out the emotion, that brings out the energy. You could be brothers and still be fighting, or you could be friends. You could be an outsider who will bring you the energy you need, the advice, even the suggestion you need to uh, make your mark on life. So let us come together to see how we resolve some of these things. I'm trying to bring Mr. Nadi in, and once he comes in, we get cracking on this topic. Mr. Nadi, your connection is failing. I don't know where you are, but your connection is failing. I've tried to bring you in this 2 or 3 times now, but I'm not able to bring you in. Your connection is failing. Probably you should do a little bit of adjustment so that we can get cracking on this topic. I know that many people want to hear what we have to say about this, and I'm banking on you guys to bring the fire, to bring the energy that will make people to really pour out their own contribution on this topic, about this topic. It's family about blood, about who cares. There are families you enter and then you really be amazed at how they bond. You really be amazed. They have little or nothing, but their bonding is just something that is extraordinary. They have each other's backs. The respect is there, the energy is there. It does not matter what you have. They carry one another along. They have each other's backs. But there are ones you come in and then it's just like cat and mouse. People are always trying to outdo the other. They are trying to give the impression that probably Providence may have smiled on them and they think that is what life is all about. I know that relationship are the things that spice up life. I'm trying to bring you in, Mr. Nadi. I'm trying to add you now, but I think it's taking a while for you to come online or to come on the show. Connection failed. It's telling me that connection failed. The connection is failing. I don't know why. I hope today is not going to be one of those the days that we'll have to struggle with connection, with network, or with whatever it is, glitches. I hope we're not going to do that. It's not going to happen today because people need to hear what we have to say about this topic. People are eagerly waiting to hear us. Standard, your network, I don't know where you are at the moment. I don't know where you are at the moment, but I'm not able to bring you into the studio. Your connection failed. Like I was saying, there are families you enter. It's just like, Mr. Nadi, you're welcome. Hello, Sam, you're welcome.
Yeah, the team.
Yeah.
I think it's just an issue with my phone again.
Okay. I think you're here now, and then
Yeah. Where's our guest?
he has not. He has not come on yet. But I sent him a note that I sent him a note about 20 minutes back, or 20 or 30 minutes back.
Okay.
That will be going on live. But while we are talking, let's see if he will join us. I know you're married too.
Oh yeah, I'm by Salah.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
Yeah, and then this is a topic. We researched, and we want to know how it is with so many people, and how it is with families out there. So there are issues everywhere, but it's not like there are ones where you enter and it is so toxic that you believe that an outsider is more brother than your brother. So as you know, even in the Bible, we had a situation where Cain killed Abel. We also had a situation where Jacob subverted Esau and took the first born position. So it is not like it is a new thing. But we also want to know what that are happening with us in the present times. Why such a thing should even occur in the first place?
Yeah.
So I just would want to ask you this, going as a startup to this: what truly defines family? Is it shared blood or shared love? What defines a family from your own understanding?
Thank you. Thank you, the T, for the question. I think the topic dives deep into the concept of what do you call it? Is it anthropology? Where we understand the family trees and how that actually connects to the bigger family, which some may argue that maybe the community or even a country. So, coming to the question, what if family is all about blood, which is, I think, is a very, very good topic, and it's good that we take due diligence to analyze the whole process and understand, because from my own understanding, this is something that attracts many people and have made a lot of people vulnerable. And, you know, a lot of people have been trapped in this cycle, especially without even knowing how did they get into this? How did they find themselves in a situation where they thought that once you are coming from the same womb, that have the trance is going to be the same, that you guys will have to assimilate or work together. But in several occasions, you find it's the other way, on the contrary. You find it that is quite the opposite. And it's, like I said, it's not even about the nuclear family. This also stretches to the extended family, the umonna. This is topics that dives into the concept where there are several of us that end up only being aware of certain relatives, when you're about to get married, or even when you are believed that you need comfort, and then you see this big man sitting on the front table, writing the demands of what you have to provide before you even lay your parents or your father or your mom to rest. And these are big topics that needs a careful and a bit more diligent analysis to understand, is this really about blood? Yes, we can share blood, but sometimes we don't share that love. And that is the key point to this. Some people may be very fortunate enough to share these two things in common. They will share blood and still share love. But the thing that is different is when it's assumed that everybody will have to share the same love. Even when the relationship is transactional, even when these people only show off when you have succeeded, when the care and the love and all of that is always skewed to only one side, where it's only one person that gives this love and the other person just sit down and receive them. It's a big topic, Mr. T, and I hope we'll be able to do diligence to it. Thank you. I leave it. I think somebody just joined.
Yeah, thank you very much, Sam. We have Chukuma Nubia Akukaliarankwere. Chukuma, we go a long way back, more than 40 years back. So Chukuma, yeah. So and it is my honor to bring you in and to formally introduce you as our guest in today's show. So you know the topic we are talking about today. You've seen the advert, and I believe that you have one or two things to tell us going forward about this thing, about this issue we are talking about. What we do here is we try to bring issues that are fundamental, things that touch people, right to their bones, and we try to talk about them so that we can bring understanding and insight and help people to know how to navigate life. So, Akokali, I want to ask you this question now. Having formally brought you on, the question is family politics in the family. Is family more about blood or about who really cares? So I want to ask you, do we owe more responsibility to people we are biologically related to?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. T.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, gentlemen. Thank you
Thank,
for having
thank
me.
you, thank you, Akukaria. Thank you for being part of this conversation. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you so much. Thank you
Yeah.
for all the good things that you have been doing on this channel. I used to follow you guys anyway, so
Yeah.
Oh,
it's my
Yeah.
wow. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
it's my
Thank you so much.
pleasure. Eh?
At least we are growing. We are growing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We are
Yes,
growing.
yeah,
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
see it, and I'm so happy for that.
Yes.
You guys are really doing a marvelous job.
Thank
Thank
you,
you
sir.
very much.
Thank you very much.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, well, this is my first time on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, so and I'm also here to hear from you guys, learn from you guys, and but in case if the need arises that I should say something, I think I will chip in one or two things.
Yeah.
But I understand your question to me.
Yeah.
Yes. So yes, exactly. You know the concept of family has really changed a great deal over the years. Yeah, I think the growing up as back then as a young man, eh, what I used to see then as family has drastically changed today.
Yeah.
It's no longer the same family we used to know, and it's really alarming the way the change has come. So that is it. So what I'm saying is that um owing responsibility to to someone in your family. Okay, well, first of all, this question you said whether family is should be by blood or
Or,
just
or who cares?
or who cares exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, this is a very complex question.
yeah.
Exactly. Because
Exactly, yes.
we're in a complex world and a
I
whole lot
know,
of complex things are happening.
yes, if you
Yeah.
if you superficially looking at it, you think it's just a very easy something to digest. Yeah,
Yes.
there are two ways to this question. Yes, um, one can be your family member by blood, and you know by extending care, sharing care to other people can also bring you guys together, and automatically you become the same family we are talking of. Okay,
Yeah.
Mhm,
yeah,
mhm, mhm.
but then now it depends. It depends if I should owe any responsibility to you. It depends on the perspective, the relationship, how you see me and the way I see you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's talking about responsibility to your family
Mhm.
member. I don't know whether you get me.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
get you. Yeah.
Yes, I'm talking about owing responsibility. Because some people feel that you they are a member of your family, or you are a member of their family, that you owe them some certain responsibilities.
Uh-huh.
You understand?
Yeah.
But
Mhm,
be it as it may, um, there is this saying that nothing goes for nothing.
mhm, mhm.
Yeah.
So before I can help you, before I can help you, before I can help you, I need to know. Inside my subconsciousness, whether there is something that is going to come out of the help that I'm giving to you, whether
Mm.
I will benefit in the long run,
Yeah.
whether you are useful to me. You understand? So
Yeah.
that is it. Yes, I can really, somebody can help someone, you can help more. But then it depends on what you stand to gain at the end of the day. Because
Yeah.
because you don't just come out and say, I want to help.
Mhm,
I want to be responsible to another human being like you. there must be something that that person has to offer in return. So I
Yeah.
stop it here. Let's go ahead, please. Yes, for
Thank you
now.
very much. Thank
Yeah.
you very much. You know, responsibility to one is not just you don't just see anybody go walking on the street and you are responsible. You become responsible for the person
For
or to the
sure.
person. So
Exactly.
responsibility has to come with a kind of a kind of understanding that you have one or two things in common. Responsibility means that there has to be a common ground where you which is carrying that responsible action or responsible response.
For
So I
sure.
understand where you're coming from. That if you've come to that point where, like in a family setting, it is
Yes.
always expected that in a family, even if you're not bringing in money, or even if you're not, there are some things you could still do in return to, you know, make sure that the bonding as siblings continue to flow
Continuous.
uninterrupted or smoothly. So, but where, like you said, it is a one-way thing. There's always this tendency for one to believe that he or she is being cheated,
Yeah.
or that he or she. That is where some of the things we are talking about now. Then will now begin to show up. Where I could be doing something for you, and then you are busy doing some other thing for some other person, some other place.
Yeah.
So it kind of kicks off a kind of friction. And this friction, how it is managed, determines how the extent it can go in dislocating whatever the family relationship is all about. But where love is the foundation for these things, you know, it tends to be more inclusive.
Yeah.
You know, when love is the vehicle that is carrying everything that is moving, it doesn't mean everything is just, like I said, cannot be monetized. It cannot be a transactional thing. You know, there are some things you could be doing to show love, not just about money or about helping somebody go through school. There are other things you could do to show that you have one or two things in common. Thank you
Absolutely.
very much, Akokaya. Sam, I want to, you were talking about you know, the connection is failing. I don't know. Hello.
I can hear you, T. Go on, go
Yeah,
on.
I want to ask you now. You know, some of these things are society-based pressure that bring about some of these things. You know, culture places a lot of demands on us in respecting relationships that are based on blood. So, why do you think this is so?
Well, the T, thank you. Thanks for the question. Yeah. The truth about the whole thing is that society has always assigned this significant greatness to blood relations and kinships. You know, this forms the primary foundations of the social and economic, even the political organization of any society. In anthropology and sociology, these terms it ties both it doesn't just tie merely the biological aspect of it. It also it ties to social infrastructure, the whole social infrastructure of a society. And I can give you a lot of links to this and tell you how all of these things is related. I can tell you about the social economy of any given society and how that is tied to this what we're discussing today. You know, how the economy of Enugu, the kind of Imbanku that you see in Enugu today, and the burials kind of funerals that you see in Enugu today, how it is tied to is a family build up based on care. Is it a kind of a collectiveness of people who cares about themselves, or is it some people who just want to kind of show off, or some people who want to task each other, or some people who want to show up? on the day of the big event without having to absorb I mean, what is going around them. You know what I mean? So society have always relied on this, and I wouldn't say that I wouldn't totally disagree with the society for doing this, because this would have been a kind of a social scaffolding that helps each individual to be able to cluster around a bigger, care, what do I call it, structure, that within yourself you have a sibling or an extended family who is your umana, where you can actually rely on, or you can actually depend on. But in some cases, and as our brother have actually mentioned, these things have started enveloping to a different things altogether. That is no longer an infrastructure of care. It becomes an infrastructure where people, it's either they want to wake up, come on your wedding days or the day you are intended, somebody who have not contributed a dime in your life. They have not even supported you in any way, but they want to sit on the high table to make demands on your wedding day and say, you have to provide this, you have to provide that, you have to do this. But these are actually an architecture or a mechanism that have been put in place for people who actually cares, for people who look after kids. Like you look after a girl for them to grow to a certain level. When they are about to get married, then you come and make all of those demands. But we'll find out that in societies today, especially in part of ours, you find that people who have not contributed anything, sometimes they don't even know you, and you don't even know them. They just emerge on your wedding days or on your funeral days to demand. And somehow the social economic ecosystem of that society finds a way of being injured by this kind of setting, because these are supposed to be a reward. These are supposed to be like a reciprocal for this care that have been done on the ground. So to not deviate too much from your question, society have always relied on this, and the reason why they rely on a lot of these things is always this, what I term to be the social scaffolding, where people have got support around them, care around them, from primary families, which is maybe your nuclear family, or to an extended home, where if things go beyond the control of the nuclear family, they can now move it to the extended family, which is the kinsmen and all of that. But unfortunately, you'll be lucky if you, I said in my opening remark, some people are very fortunate that even within their internal family, they find both of this infrastructure. They find love in blood, but sometimes you can find hatred in blood. Doesn't necessarily mean that always that there is this love that flows with our blood. Sometimes it can also flow with hatred. It can also flow with envy. It can also flow with just people who are transactional in that relationship. So people who are just a parasite, that the only time they check up on you is only when they want to make demands, or those who only see you as somebody who should not be around them for any reason, until when you have finally succeeded, and then they will start giving you rhythms. Like I think is it not Sophia in his music? One of his music, he say, my mama is your uncle brother, and my brother is your sister. I don't know, Mr. T, I don't know if you've heard that song.
Huh? Yeah, I've heard it, but I've never really taken our time to listen to it.
Yeah. The crucial aspect of all of these things is the intention of the society. The intention of the society is actually to have a cluster kind of care among society, a society that feedbacks on itself, that it's not always like you mentioned in your speech. It's not always the financial aspect of it. Some cares can be just to check up on somebody to see how they're getting on.
Yeah.
Sometimes it could even be just having a listening ear to listen to what the other person is going through. And sometimes it could be even showing present, like somebody is doing something. It's not always making demands or turning up on the funeral day that you know that this person is actually grieving. That something very hurtful have actually happened to somebody, and then you're looking for what kind of drinks, what kind of are you providing cows. Some people have to even go to the extent of getting indebted after this funeral, adding to the already heavy duty grievances that are before them. So these are the settings of all of this. So I'll leave it there, Mr. T. I think if that answers the question.
Yeah, I think you just walked us through that, because society on its own is made up of families. And then the idea, just like you said, is to provide a kind of infrastructure, a scaffold where people can bounce off each other where there are needs. And society is also made up of not just blood, but even love. And like you also pointed out, in all this, you could find love. Where you find love in blood is a bonus for you. But we have seen situations where not just hatred, you see envy, you see all manner of things convoluting what should have been a very, very peaceful and lovely environment. That is what is happening at the moment, and that is why we want to talk about these things, so that people can be rightly guided in whatever relationships they find themselves, or in whatever situation they find themselves, so that you'll be able to know actually if what you're seeing is love in blood or hatred in blood. So these are very, very important. So, uh, 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 Akukalia, I want to also ask you this: if caring for someone is enough to call them family, do you think that caring for someone is enough to call them family?
Um. Uh. From my own point of view, uh, I don't think it is so. I don't really think it is so because at the end of the day, the family is still family. When you care for somebody who is not your family member, yes, maybe at some time in point, at some time in life, the person will also will when the person finds his way out of your life, and I think the everything ends there. But your family is still your family.
Okay.
So I don't think caring for just only caring for somebody alone makes that person a family member of yours.
Not actually maybe your family member, but
Yeah.
somebody who can do what probably your sibling couldn't do for you.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody who could be in your life for good or for bad. Somebody who can walk through thing and thick together with you. Such relationship is not a relationship that somebody walks in and walks out. I
Yeah.
don't think that is what we mean here. But the love here we are talking about is something that subsists over a long time.
Okay. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
for example, I have a friend for over 40 years that he's more like a brother to me, with all his all the things that we have gone through together. He's not
Yeah.
blood, but he's if we came out anywhere, you could the way we've ruled over the years, anybody could just say that they are brothers. That's the what we're talking about here. Not just like somebody who just comes in,
Mm-hmm.
for a brief period of time and leaves you. That's not. I don't think
Oh,
that is the thing we are talking about here.
all
Some,
right, all right.
yeah,
Okay, I get you now. I get you. Yes,
yeah,
exactly. There are people who really play a very vital role in one's life. You understand?
yeah,
So yes, like people who come into your life at a time you really need the help. Okay,
yeah,
because yes, this reminds me of one incident in my life. I personally here, you know. So I remember um during our days in a CKC or Nisha. Okay.
yeah,
Yes, there was a time I needed an accommodation. Okay, I needed
yeah,
an accommodation, and by then my parents had already relocated to the village. Okay, and
yeah,
I needed to continue with my education. So there was this man really. He wasn't my family member. He wasn't anything to me. But when I was in such a need, this man came to my rescue. Okay, so this man accommodated me for some time. Okay, until
yeah,
I was able to settle and get a place of my own for me to continue my education. Okay,
yeah,
so
yeah,
yes, this person now, okay, not being a member of my family, but I think I saw him as a family member from that point of view, from that perspective that you're talking now. Okay, so that
yeah,
is it. Yes, when somebody is really, really very, very important in your life, I think yes, the person could be considered to be your family member as well, because he has done to you what others couldn't do for you. Okay, because
yeah,
even then, by then, as I was talking, by then in Onisha, I had some relatives. Okay, but none of them were showing up to help out the situation in which I found myself. But this was
yeah,
here we are. This was another person who really helped me at a time that I needed. So from this point, I think yes, exactly. Yes,
yeah,
such a person could be considered as a family member.
yeah. That is the whole essence of this topic, because there are some people who are your family by blood. They are family
Yes.
defined by blood. But
Mm.
when things that should consolidate that relationship by blood comes up,
When the
when
chips are down.
yeah, when the chips are down, you find that you are all alone. You're standing all
Exactly.
alone. But
Exactly.
then somebody from nowhere, somebody you've not even known from Adam, could
Mm.
just walk up into that situation and become the light. You
Yes.
become the peace that will give you peace. The person will become the light that will show you the way forward. So that's what we are talking about. It's not just like um, some people who you consider to be your own. When
Mm.
the things that you need finally calls for their attention, they will just deny you, like
Yes.
many have denied some other persons. So that's thank you very much for that, because
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
it is important even also to acknowledge these things we are talking about, because these things are things that are happening often these days. You
Yeah.
see somebody who you didn't know, somebody you've not been relating with before. The person could just come in and fill a void, a vacuum in your life, and then give you that inner peace you need or you needed at that particular point in time. So that's
Yes. Mr. T,
the
please.
kind of thing.
I think yes, exactly. This is one of the major reasons that the family value system is on a decline now. It's really,
Yeah,
really declining. Okay, that
yeah,
family structure we used to have
mhm,
in those days are no longer there.
yeah,
Okay, for instance, the way I see family is not the same way my children see it.
exactly.
Okay, their own concept. Their own idea about family is very, very different from my own perspective today now. So that is just the issue. Because okay, you see that even the kids will have now what they see as family is just within that nuclear circle.
Yeah.
Father, mother, and their siblings. Any other
Yeah.
thing outside of this circle is not a family to them.
Exactly.
Yes, and that is not good. It is not a good thing for when
I
we
wouldn't
talk
say
of
it is not
when we
good.
talk of family
If
structure.
yeah, Akokalia, nature abhors vacuum. If
Yeah,
somebody will not step in to do what he or she should do in your life, and another person steps in to do that, then
sure.
that automatically the person who stepped in to do what the other one couldn't do or didn't want to do can as well assume the position of that person in your life.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
Exactly.
because love seems to these days love seems to become even more powerful than blood. Yeah,
You're right. You're
yeah.
right.
Yeah, thank you very much, Akokaria.
You're
Mr.
welcome.
Nadi, I'll throw this question at you now. You know, can distance, conflict, misunderstanding weaken blood relationship severely that it no more, serves the function the family should serve in one's life?
Well, thank you, Luti. Yeah, this the question you just asked actually it actually reminds me part of this what we call the attachment theory. How we get, how we get absorbed with even our friends and all of that, and it also creates a bit of thesis on the build up to the so this guy's book. What's his name? Cat Winston. The family we choose.
Yeah,
The family we choose. So, and when we talk about somebody being distance to you, I mean, I don't even want to go deep into family. I don't want to go to because the family aspect is even on the interface. Let's even talk about your wife. If your wife lives far away from you, or your children they live far away from you, there is this distance of attachment that starts, you know, unintentionally starts to build up. Well, I've seen people who have actually managed this post theory better. I've seen people who are able to bridge that gap and be able to link properly with their family, and the ability to do so is being able to raise a certain frequency between yourself and whoever, if it's your family member, if it's your nuclear family, if it's your wife, if it's your member of your family, being able to raise that frequency that you know that you have to, that these things has to be vice versa. That you can't always think that the man in a different place will have to always do all the hard work to try to raise that attachment. So living a distance can be a good tool as well. Mr. T, I think our examples with myself and you will be a good example, because even though you don't live close to me,
yeah,
but these days, because we have a mutual I mean something, we
well,
have something in common. We have something
yeah,
in common between the two of us.
yeah,
You understand? So that
yeah.
having things in common, being able to build that attachment in the same frequency is what is the most important. And I take a lesson from what Onyebedi said in our previous podcast, and I think that will help us to even digest this very question that you asked me before, because in most cases, with most of us, we always intend that that family has to be somebody from your home. When Nemeli was mentioning that we can also have our own where we live,
Yeah.
and to have that own the first answer to that is actually you being able to understand what it actually means to have that own. That it doesn't necessarily mean somebody that is blood to you. I think there is a new version to the blood is thicker than water. There is this new version. Let me remember. Let me see if I can remember. It says, is it the blood of the covenant is stronger
It's stronger
than the water of the womb?
Of the womb, yeah.
Yes. So this is a new version of because things are evolving, and a lot of people are starting learning their lessons. You can't always be you can't always be the what do I call it the supplier, and you only give and give and give and give, or you know I've seen families where the man of the house will just disappear, or the woman of the house will just disappear and leave the kids to struggle by themselves, only to jump out when the kids are already made. I see the other day on the TV when a man, I don't have the details of the stories. I see a man, after the Nigerian football game, a man was on the TV narrating how his son didn't come to, but nobody was asking, were you able to? Because these things goes vice versa, just like you mentioned. It's not just you being. This blood is not automatic. That because your blood, your blood relatives, that automatically you are now family, because you can see the blood together, like you mentioned. Like you mentioned about the scenario of Cain and Abel.
Yeah.
You can see the blood and still cause harm to your family, if that is what it means to be family. So for the people who live in the diaspora, for some people who live in a distant place, we can also cluster around ourselves and start building our own family. This is how a lot of communities around the world are doing it. Even I think I heard of many even mentioning the economic burden of we always trying to have to go back all the time to things like having a marriage ceremonies and all of that. There's more details to it anyways. I don't want to dive into it, but the burden of having to keep that relationship and keep that distance, which is which you can even argue with these acculturations, where the frequency that you are actually going on may be totally different from the person that is back home. You may want to have that relationship of mutual care from somebody who lives in Nigeria, who thinks that if somebody is in abroad, that it's only them that have to be given and given. Their one is to respond with applauses and praises and say sir. They don't understand that relationship. That relationship everybody has to be for kind of having some balance of benefits, not just on skewed on one side where it's only because this man lives abroad or because this man lives in the village. So, well, it can duly affect it. It can duly affect family, and it can duly affect the relationship. Thank you, the team.
Thank you very much, Sam. You try to put across to our listeners. Conflict is something that, if not resolved on time, can snowball into something that could really test the blood relationship we have between brothers or within a family. So it's always a difficult situation where you find yourself in a conflict situation, and more especially when you may be thinking that you are not the cause of it. The other person may be thinking he or she is not because of it. At the end of the day, everybody is suffering. So, and once these things uh, continue like that, you see that communication is affected, seriously affected. And once that communication is affected, you find it difficult even to communicate needs or even difficult positions or difficulties. You cannot even talk about anything. So, in that way, relationship by blood is severely affected, is severely tested and affected. So, conflict, if not resolved and properly resolved at that, can always be an impediment to peaceful coexistence, peaceful relationship, and strong bonding within families. Thank you very much, Sam. Actually, I want to ask you, you know, if you have had at any time somebody who kind of like you pointed out. I was going to ask you that, but let me just formally ask you now.
Okay.
If you ever had somebody support you outside of your family that you feel and you felt and you still feel that this person has gone way and beyond just friendship, and it should be that what the person did or is still doing is enough to elevate him or her to the position of family.
Yes, exactly. Yes, I previously gave you that instance
Yeah,
where this individual uh, helped me out. Yes, why not? I think that because that is a memory, is something that is so memorable to me that I still recall up to today. You
yeah,
know, this event haven't happened many years back. It still keeps coming to my mind every time because I remember at that time, yes, exactly. Just you can see how memorable it is to me. Something that happened when I was in my early days of secondary school.
more than 40
Then
years ago.
Ye- yes, yes, around 40 exactly. So then,
Yeah,
okay, when after I left the man's place and then later went into boarding school. You understand? Then I finished the whole of my secondary school without seeing this man again. Okay. Then after
yeah,
that, after secondary school, my post secondary school and all the rest of them before coming to Europe.
yeah.
Do you know the time? Do you know when I saw this man again in my life?
No,
I saw this man again, for the first time. I went to Nigeria from Europe here.
yeah.
Yeah, so that was almost I think after 20 something years.
Wow.
Okay, so that kind of a person, where do I fix in this kind of a person? Automatically he has become a family to me.
Yeah,
So there are yes, an outsider can be a family to you, honestly.
yeah,
So yes, this man is a typical example of what you have asked me.
yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
And
Yeah,
again, please, Mr. T,
yeah,
I want to add to what my brother Mr. Nadi said here
yeah.
about distance issue. Okay, because we are here trying to see the issues or the problems we have, as people staying outside with our relatives, our family members in Nigeria. This is family issue now, and I see that because of distance issue, because you made mention of distance, because of distance, they tend to exploit our absence. You understand? So they tend to exploit our absence because I don't think that the treatment the diasporans are getting from home people is the same way, is the same thing those of us or those of them who haven't traveled to abroad, those of them who are around. I don't think they are still getting the same treatment because I think people out abroad are being unfairly treated because you see that in everything, in every circumstances, like my brother said, they keep on expecting from you.
Yeah,
You are the one to finance everything from A to Z.
yeah,
Because they feel there is a cheaper way, or I don't know what is in their mind, what they feel, how they feel about making money here. They keep on exploiting. So that kind of family relationship is really doubtful. One tends to ask himself a question: if there is really a genuine love in this kind of relationship of a family. So I think because of absence, because of the distance, they exploit those of us that are living at abroad. So that
yeah,
is one of the
yeah.
dangers. One of the dangers of being of not being close to them.
Yeah, the distance can be managed, but the thing is that where this distance becomes an issue is where people think you're mining gold abroad, and then they can't raise a hand or even commit themselves to doing anything for you.
Yeah,
That is where the distance thing becomes an issue. But if somebody is way at home and then is able to stand in for you, protect and have your back at all times when the need arises, distance shouldn't be seen as an issue. It becomes an issue when people have this entitlement mentality that these guys
exactly.
are broad. We need to put the suction pipe, to get our own share of whatever is getting abroad. They believe that being abroad is on every street. As you're walking the street, you're packing money. So that is where that one becomes an issue. But I think the major issue is where you are not only, the distance is not only there, but there are also conflicts, or managed conflicts, and which reduces the communication. And then these are the things that severely test relationship by blood. Thank you, Akokaria.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Mr. Nadi, this one goes to you now. Our modern society is redefining what family means.
Well, yeah, thank you. Thanks for the question. I think uh, they're actually redefining it, and these are folders of different experiences, like we have been highlighting on over this podcast. That we start what was intended for good. Like I mentioned from my listener, I said there's this social scaffolding where our society have built around ourselves that blood becomes some kind of insulence or kind of insurance that that this does not have. It has a very similar. It has similarity that is quite predictable, which is that you are from the same parents. The DNA has similar strands, and our ancestors within their basic knowledge or basic understanding were able to draft this methodology for us as to build a better society where we all lean against each other. Like when you need that love, you need that care, you need all of that, you can always find it within your blood. And in certain societies, it has actually failed. It failed in the Western society. and is gradually beginning to fail in our society, which is part of what Career have just mentioned. If we don't, because it's actually a very good thing that we can always rely on our siblings or our blood related families. Is the best version or the best model that you have a kind of you cluster around your internal people, that you know that these guys are my people. I don't have ambiguities about, is this man actually for me or not. So like I said, it's a bit predictable that you can predict from that. But he's actually failed. He started failing, and he's failed in the society in Western society. Part of what Watson wrote in his My Choosing Family, where he actually emphasized on how people you meet from anywhere could actually be the one that will save you. And I think another reference from the Bible, I think that can actually create a better understanding for some of our audience who are very relatable to the Bible. You remember the book of the story of the Good Samaritan. If you remember that story, where even people who are Pharisees, people who are actually family members, they saw that man bruised and injured, but they looked the other way and walked away. Only for a Samaritan. A Samaritan in them days were actually seen as the enemies. They are seen as the enemies. He was actually a Samaritan that actually was compassionate to be able to find a way to save or to help the wounded man. So I think this is part of the lessons that the Western society have actually they have learned over the years. That this care and what do I call it, love, it's not always what it stems to be. It's not also always classified, where you can solemnly now depend on your family. And with us, for us that lives abroad and for the people who lives back home, I was actually speaking to somebody the other day, one of my friends, and it's to my surprise, and it's not really a surprise to me as well. It's just something that is quite familiar to most of us, that you can hardly even, ask your siblings back home to help you with domestic things, like you're building a house. If you limit money to them to do they will try to do all these extractions from it, extortion as well. Like, these are just normal things, that it's no longer things that you don't even expect from your core enemies. Like, if you have to give contracts to somebody, a stranger, and they deduct some of part of that money to do, and these are becoming normal in our society, where the brother who is meant to be blood, who is meant to be part of this team that you're working together, the other person is there just sitting and extracting from that. And there is a lot to that it links to even the economic capability of the other person. And if we don't dive into this, if you can give me a little bit of time, I can be able to analyze to you how certain poverty that we have in our society is linked to all these variations. How the certain things that we actually accept in our society, how it has impoverished even those who live abroad, even those who could have even moved a bit further with their certain businesses or even with their certain work or whatever they are doing, comparing to somebody from a different demography, like somebody from India, that will go about being able to achieve even more, because the other person that the siblings that were meant to be blood, that lives on the other side of the world, are not seeing this as a relationship. They are seeing it as an entitlement. They see it as long as I am blood to this man, I'm entitled to whatever he earns. I'm not giving anything in return. And then you have the other side of that story, where a lot of people, have assumed or have accepted that it's now your responsibility as a sibling to establish the other sibling, even when that sibling is not even, it's not even ready to be productive himself. Like a man that is intending to be useless, the community will clamp it on you that you see this your sibling, as long as he's not doing well, you're not doing well yourself, without even looking at reasons. But these are things that have actually changed this narrative that a lot of people are now beginning to understand, just like the Western world. And this is part of why we do this podcast, to be able to raise this awareness with our people, for them to understand that, some of these things that we do and we just ignore it and think it doesn't matter, it comes with the consequences. And some of the things that we are seeing in our community today, poverty and this and that we see in our community. To be honest, Mr. T, I can give you contingencies. I can give you a man that possibly how the money a man remitted in Nigeria to build a house could have been enough for him to do something else. But because he remitted it to Nigeria, or he wanted to build something in Nigeria, he have limited his capability to do something else here in the UK, or even in Nigeria, or even in Lagos. And how that growth, a societal growth, have been kind of tampered because of not being able to understudy how these are related to each other. So you find out that when people get the fatigue of all of these cycle of indeficiencies, they begin to look somewhere else. They start looking from friends around them. They start looking elsewhere because they have actually given that hand of fellowship. But it turns out that the fellowship is actually what's the right word? I don't know the right word to use. The elephant. The cat and the lion kind of fellowship? Is it cat and lion where the carnivorous animals are given the meat? So it becomes that fellowship where you are left for devour. Like they literally, extract you like the company, like you are a company, like your business that they are just there to extract. So there's a lot of links to all of these things, and how that actually impact the everyday life of our society, the economy of our society, the relationship that we have in our society, the social life in our society. Thank you, Mr. T. I'll leave it there. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Before I need you to speak to one. There's a submission here by contribution by Pleasure Mom. But before you do that, I just want to acknowledge those who've been with us for some time. My erudite professor of political science, Okuriban Noli, he's been watching us from his home. Pleasure Mom, that's the one that I want you to respond to. We have a Handel Obiakalosi, Grace Lillian. We have Kinsley Eze. We have Joseph Obumudia, Grace John. We have also Zerubbabel Zadok and Daniel Ben. Thank you guys for having a steady time with us. Yeah, Mr. Nadi, I just want you to speak to the contribution by Pleasure Mom.
Well, I think I'll have to read that out again. I don't think the distance affects family relationship, especially siblings and parents, unless there is an existing break in communication or dispute. When there is love and shared interests, the farther you are, the more you crave family time. However, a lot of family members believe that they don't owe each other anything. And this is the statement I always describe as insensitive and selfish, especially among siblings. Well, that's I think our sister actually hit the nail on the head. That version of having your family around is indisputable. the best version where you cluster around your family, your sisters, that's the most, in my personal view, I think that's the safest. Instead of having to join with somebody that you don't know at all, like you met somebody from Jamaica here in the UK and you embrace them as being family. I think it's safer to have this with your siblings. But the point that we are coming up, we are saying here is that because and I want to speak directly to our sister here, because people have been vulnerable to these things. People have been trapped into it, that this relationship is only skewed to only one side, that it's only you that is meant to provide this care. It's only you that is meant to provide this love. It's only you that is meant to do all of that. It is supposed to be something that is mutual. It's supposed to be you providing, and it doesn't necessarily has to be money. My sister, there are people, I'll give myself as an example. There are people that only message me when I see messages coming from these lads. It's all about what you can do for them. And when this relationship, and I'm not being particular to my family, it could be anybody, it could be an extended family, but these are experiences that people have. And to be honest, I may sound a bit different, but in my own personal view, even in the cultural side view as well, the only person that you actually literally owed in the nuclear family, in my personal view, is your mother and your father. Just the same way we have an even opportunity from the most senior to the youngest, as long as you get to that 18 years, you have exceeded the stage of vulnerability. As long as you're an adult, that adulthood very satisfy you. Can you reduce your voice? Satisfy you to be able to look after yourself, not depending on anybody. So, to add to that statement, even though I may go the other way, I may not actually agree with you totally. Depending on the situation. The one I totally disagree with is when people are actually giving you the green light, like somebody is being open to you, being open to that relationship, and genuinely seeking that relationship, and then you turn up to them and say, "I don't owe you anything." But in a situation where it's only skewed to one side, people in most cases, see these things as kind of entitlement that you owe them. You owe them, that is my right now, that if you're rich, I have to be rich, without you even putting any effort to it. And my objection to these things is not even just about the family in question. But the point is that if you go deeper into the variation of this thing, you will find out how that even affects communities, how it affects countries. I can give you deep analysis on this, and you will see why the African community abroad is doing less than the Indian community abroad. I have details to this. How the kind of money that we remit back home, everybody, you see a man that comes to the UK now, within the next 5 years, he's working hard, sending money back home. When he has opportunity to actually build himself, acquire trainings. Some of us, when we come here, we don't look for places where we can take our time to grow. We don't, because we have a burden from home where we have to remit money. He's been abroad for 2 years. He has not remitted anything. Why hasn't he remitted? In contrast to somebody that comes from India or somebody that comes from China with not such pressure, which have been built by this culture, that may not be very, very profitable to us. If even the person that you're sending that money back home is making good use of that money, then it makes a bit of sense. But in most cases, they just squander that money as if this guy is somewhere making that money and I need to live big, I need to live large, I need to do this and do that. And that is a different topic anyway. I'll leave it there, Mr. T. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Akukalia, can you give us your last on this topic?
Yeah, thank you, my brother, Mr. Nadi. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you, my brother.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying your submissions. Yes. Talking about about this thing. I think one of the major issue here is that some people I have seen some people who fall apart with their families because of issues like factors like disappointment, too much expectations,
Yeah.
because there was disappointment, too much expectations, lack of understanding, and again this issue of poverty, because our people place much more emphasis on money. Everything is all about money. They want to be okay at the expense of another person. Okay, so that is just the issue. Yes, we have all said it here. Yes, it is not only money aspect of it that matters, but people at home, they don't understand this. They don't. All they care about in most cases, at 99%, is all about finances, all about money, all about making them to be okay. Okay, so what they want from you is money. So that is just the point. That is why we are having all these issues, and then you see a brother having an issue with his siblings because of financial issues. So yeah, it is very, very common and very easy to say everything is not all about money, but our mindset, our mentality is different. So that is it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Akokalia. Mr. Nadi, what is your last on this on today's show?
Yeah. Well, I think my this thing. My last is my first is always my last.
Yeah.
Yes, family is better when it's blood related, but it's good when it's blood related, but it's better when that blood, the substance of that blood, is the care, the love, this empathy and all of that. That is what accompanies this blood. It's not just the DNA. DNA does not automatically give you an entitlement. It comes with responsibilities from both sides. It could be anybody. It could be your parents. It could be your siblings. It could even be your elder brother. Sometimes just a bit of phone calls. Just allocate a day to just call and see how your brother is doing. Maybe it's not always going to be people living abroad. It could be somebody that lives very close to you. And on the other side, if you know that you have not contributed anything to somebody else's upbringing, don't go to their wedding ceremonies and be making demands, because it's wickedness. It's actually wickedness. The reward of you making those demands on the wedding day is because it's a measure of what you have actually contributed to that person's life. Or on the funerals, that is what we need to speak very harshly to our community about. Like, people are mourning their parents, people are in grief, and those who are meant to be family, those who are meant to be the umunna, the kingsmen, who are meant to be coming to support this person that is grieving, are coming to make demands. Some people end up in debt after funerals. It is not good. These people actually need support. This is what we see where we live. In most cases, you go to funerals in this country that we live in. You don't go to funerals and you're expecting to be drinking and their people are slaughtering cow here and there. You don't go to this and you are seated and you're looking for drinks when people are mourning. So this is what family are supposed to be doing, to comfort those who are mourning, to give them hope rather than extorting them. And there is a way this actually links to the overall mechanism or the overall structure of the society. Because a man that is wounded, a man that is also wounded by his family will not be in his best performance. Like you don't expect me, after having to go through all of this, that these are meant to be my hope, these are meant to be my family, and they have wounded me this much. When I was growing up, nobody was there for me. When I was about to get married, they all push that from everywhere and make demands. And all of a sudden, you expect me to be the best human being in this world. You want me to be a decent person. These are all build up to kind of the kind of madness that you see in societies that doesn't, assimilate this or encapsulate these things into reality. So we have to start redefining our mentality. We have to start redefining. Like I've always mentioned here, Mr. T, for us that comes here to live abroad, these are things that we see that defines this society that we live in. These are the core components of the behaviors of the society that we need to transfer, because money is a transaction of these characters. Wealth, societal success is a transaction of this kind of behaviors. You cannot expect somebody that is bittered to become very prominent in trying to solve societal problem. They have to be happy with that society that feel like this is home for me. This is where I feel loved. This is where I feel care. Not place where I'm being extorted. Not place where I'm being exploited. So these are the background story. These are the things that these people that you see, that we are leaving our countries now to come and seek refuge. These are the things, the sacrifices that they are making on the ground, that you can see on this build-up. And you see social service in the UK, that people can go to their council if they don't have money. These are built up from a mentality of an individual who understand that if you are grieved, if you are despaired, that what you need is care. Not some bills, not some woman that's sitting down and be telling you, oh, you have to bring cow, you have to bring 10 bottles when you are actually grieved. They don't even care if you're able to afford these things or not. Thank you, I'll leave it there. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was a wonderful one from you guys, and I want to appreciate you guys for having done justice to this topic. Family, is it about blood, about care? There were days when we didn't have to interrogate this statement or this question. There were times when it was automatic that if your family, then the undergirding structure was love or is love. But these days a whole lot of things have gone south, and family is no more what we used to see it the way we used to see it. A whole lot of things have changed. A whole lot of water have passed under the bridge, and family is no more family anymore. Blood is no more thicker than water. And they said that the blood of the covenant, or the blood of the covenant is, or the covenant of blood is now thicker than the blood of the womb.
Yeah, the water of the womb. The water of the womb. The blood of the covenant is now thicker than the covenant of the womb.
Of the womb. Yeah, thank you very much. So, you now begin to ask yourself, how did we come to this? You now see people who are prioritizing a whole lot of things. People are seeing a whole lot of things from what you're seeing. Society has come with a whole lot of things that have made people to see blood as something that can be transactioned and that can be bought or sold. So, but it shouldn't be like that. Blood should be blood. Family should be family based on blood. And when you have love as the undergirding factor, it is beautiful. It is a beautiful thing to see and to behold. Just like Pleasure Mom said, if that is when love is the foundation of that family. You see people always craving to have the company of one another. But these days, it is just transaction, what you can gain from your relationship, your blood relationship. That is
exactly
the thing that in the course of time, it gives up a kind of odious smell that takes a whole lot of time before it can be dispersed. So please, let us begin to prioritize the love that blood brought us into. There should be blood. There's blood and there's love, and this love and blood, when they mix together, it is beautiful.
Exactly.
It's about time that we return to the days of love, where you see your brother and your brother is your brother, and he can go several miles for you because you're brother. So having said that, I just want to thank you guys for having done due diligence to this. I also want to thank our audience, the people who stayed with us while we tried to walk through this minefield, the contributions. And just like Kingsley Eze said, he said he found love. Even somebody who was not his father, he found a second father in faraway land where he was there all alone. But at the end of the day, somebody came up and became a father to him. So these are the kind of things we want to be hearing in our families, not just about how much you are going to give me before I do this for you, or even when you send something across, or even not just even sending something across. Brothers have been known to have sabotaged brothers, on very, very flimsy things that have little or no value. So let us redefine what family is all about. And family should be not just about blood, but also about love. And when we come to that conclusion, you see that the world will become a more peaceful and beautiful place to live in. So having said that, I want to thank you, all of you, for having stayed the course with us. I want to thank every one of you who came on this show. Thank you very much, and thank you. Help us share this and our subsequent programs. You're equally invited. Like I said, anybody who want to help us, talk to us, you can always reach us, and we bring you in to, talk to people. Experience matters in all the things that we do. When you have the experience, and there are people who need to hear you, say one or two things to them, and if you're able to do that, that will be so beautiful. We'll avail this platform. I will give you this platform to help us, draw these lessons home. Nothing will be more beautiful than that. We are still growing, and we need your support to help us grow. As long as you come here and help us, to like our video and share, it will go a long way in helping other people get to hear what we have to say. Thank you very much, guys, and do have a very, very wonderful night rest. Until we come your way again next week. And I hope that we're going to come along with something that will entertain, not just entertain, but also inform. And that is what we try to do every week. Have a wonderful evening out there, and the best of the day. Until we meet again next week, it is bye-bye from all of us here.
Okay.
Thank you,
Bye.
guys.
Thank you.